This is a response video to Asmongold clips, etc. Most controversial clip on the internet right now. 1.4 million views exploited. August 5th, 2026. Here's a list of things that happened to me in the past on a much more regular basis that resulted in me being declared against my will to be nearly 100% disabled. Spinal column injury involving a disc rupturing in a very odd way. Also, at the same time, viral infection of the spinal column. And at the same time, a continually repeating set of flare-ups from head injury that cause the visual cortex, the back of the skull, the back of the brain, to have lesions on them that react in the same way you would have from having epileptic seizures. This also resulted in me having acquired tics. They're not as bad anymore, but people watching my YouTube channel and my videos will notice that I do have tics. These are little hiccups in the progress of what you want to do and how your body and your mind behave. Now, for those of you out there who relish the idea of being outraged at someone seemingly having privileges, I want to point out something that is not a fun privilege. Needing to have a wheelchair around, even though I could easily walk, run, etc., I was just in a tremendous amount of pain due to the spinal column, but because of the virus, my entire nervous system from the waist down just turning off randomly. Now, I want you to think about this. You're driving a car, everything's fine, you haven't had any issue for 6 months, and then suddenly your legs stop working in a conventional car that has not been converted to a person who is a paraplegic. You have now become a paraplegic, and then, in my case, you go blind. The blindness comes in from the side and slowly cuts off one side of your view and turns it into a scintillating pattern. Or it does it from the other side. Or in one case, it went black. I thought the lights had gone. I thought the sun had disappeared. And I was on a straight road. I then, because I practiced this, because if you're not aware of it, I've had injuries that have disabled me for my entire life when I'm younger that were minor enough, and I grew up around people with hardcore disabilities for my entire growing up period, that I taught myself to live on purpose. Blind, deaf, both, paralyzed, or only having one arm or the other to work with. I taught myself to use my left hand and my right hand equally. I'm not ambidextrous truly, but I'm pretty close. So what was the outcome of this occurrence with me? I was the most properly prepared person on earth, and I seriously just wanted to put a bullet in my head. I hated the experience because for only 3 to 6 months, it was more than that, but 3 to 6 months during which I couldn't reliably walk and couldn't reliably see, and sometimes had what are called petit mal seizures, where you just sort of check out. No grand mal. I only had 1 or 2, I think. And also a similar occurrence of having a panic attack induced by a seizure-like behavior in the brain. Because that's technically a possibility, and I found out the hard way. I've had 2 or 3 of those, and I've told people I'd rather be dead than have another panic attack. Because all you know is you're having a massive rush of anxiety, and there's no source of it, and that actually makes it much worse. And it has no driver or trigger to it. Same thing with the blindness. Same thing with, at the time, having the lower half of my body decide to just start shaking, or one leg stop working or the other, because of viral damage, mechanical damage, etc. Okay, that's 4 minutes of your life not wasted, because if somebody is a ambulatory wheelchair user, it means they're required to use a wheelchair as a majority of the time, because there's intermittent, really short durations where they basically have the entire lower half of their body act like they just got hit in the back with a rifle bullet. They drop. And if you're not aware of it, if you're in walking mode or just standing normally, the most likely thing for it to happen is for you to drop, cause more injury to your lower back, and end up face first and breaking something. A lot of somethings. And again, let's be in the car and just not go blind. I can't hit the brake or the gas because my legs don't work. Or they're randomly hitting one or the other. Or hitting the frickin' clutch. And this can spread as a progressive pattern, a wave shape through the brain, just like it does visually, to your arms. So suddenly you're just jerking the wheel around. Having your body disobey you to the point that you're just not able to do anything. I have a problem where I spent years not being able to reliably do this because my hand would just suddenly let go and I would drop shit. So I have developed a habit of having non-breakable everything. Now I'm way past this. Years past it. And I am stronger for it because, not because of what happened to me, but because I had prepped for it by watching it happen to other people. Most of them were Vietnam vets who were dealing with creeping shrapnel that would screw with the nervous system or the brain, or chemicals that would get into their system like Agent Orange. So the most controversial clip on the internet right now, according to Asmongold, is a person who is otherwise extremely healthy, better off than most of us, but is been made to, this is the thing, made to use a wheelchair primarily for the majority of the time, unless this person is on, and you may have noticed from the video, Osmond, most of the time when she's doing tumbling and ballet and dancing, she's on soft material in a controlled situation. With me, I had to use a walker or a wheelchair for everything, and I was working for a living at the time. And let me repeat this. It was 6 months total time before they said I'm allowed to try to drive again. Because if your legs shut off and the vehicle is not designed for a person who is paralyzed from the waist down, you're going to cause a wreck. And if you have convulsions or twitches or tics, you're going to hit the gas or the brake, and you're going to hurt somebody, including yourself. On top of that, I was legally declared to be blind. Could see just fine if I had my glasses. To the point that I don't have them on my table anymore, but for a long time I made my own glasses because my eyes would also go through convulsions so that the distances would change. So I ended up carrying glasses that had fixed focus lenses and lenses that I could dial in. I got really good at making glasses. I probably could I could be an optometrist at this point. I can translate diopter to Snellen. Go look that up. It's a load of fun. I use Snellen primarily for me because I'm nearsighted. Farsighted is more appropriate with the using diopters. But the point is, only until recently, due to an incident and an accident, did my right eye change focal length dramatically. And I figured out later it was because of that accident that I accidentally ended up with partially damaging my cornea and it changing the focal length. And it hurt like hell for a week, but after that, my vision improved in my right eye by accident. So, let's review. Your controversial clip on the internet is of a person who has a primary issue with, as they said, they have Tourette's and tics, and they have a problem where they sometimes just go paralyzed. This is brain damage, neurological damage, virus-induced, impact-induced, or whatever, or lower back damage, or all of the above, maybe just like me. And remember, the head injury in my head happened when I was in my teens, and the back injury happened when I was in my mid-20s. I am now over 50, bordering on pushing 60, as they say. And I can still go blind every once in a while, and I spent a period of time this year going blind literally every damn day to where I had to worry about it. And I'd feel fine, nothing wrong, and I'd go blind. And very likely in my case it was caused by a virus, which means I had a virus attacking my brain. And it scared the hell out of me. So, Asmongold, if you're watching, which I don't think you are, please understand that there's a lot of people literally walking around that at one time were damaged and paralyzed and had brain injuries that caused them to convulse or have things just shut off. Oh, and I should add to that, every once in a while, I will go deaf in one or both ears on top of it. The other things, sometimes I can't feel my tongue, sometimes I can't talk. I've lost the sense of smell a couple of times, long before the thing we're not allowed to talk about on YouTube could cause it. Oh, and every once in a while, my arms and legs will just start twitching, and surfaces of my skin. And sometimes I'll get phantom sensations because some of the nerves, and we'll just add this in, some of the nerves in this arm are rewired the wrong way because I had nerve damage that caused it to be completely dead. And then the nerves grew back together again backwards. That's the front of my thumb neurologically, and this is the back or something. I don't even know what the fuck happened. I'm used to it now, so I don't even notice it, but I can pay attention to it. Really weird sensation when nerves grow back, especially when they're just reattached. So yes, Asmongold, a person can be primarily required to use a wheelchair and it not be them trying to get empathy or sympathy and be otherwise perfectly normal or fantastically healthy. But every once in a while, they just drop to the ground and sometimes bust their nose. And I'm looking at a picture of the girl and it looks like she's broken her nose a couple of times. So maybe you should go on and say, maybe I was wrong. Or maybe you're just feeding that particular variety of people that wants to feel justified in their jealousy of a person in a wheelchair. Which, if you say that out loud, sounds really fucking dumb, doesn't it? Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll all need it. And, but for the grace of God goes Asmongold.